is a motorcycle that needs no introduction. This is the motorcycle which saved Royal Enfield from going defunct. And now I'm not going to get into the history of this motorcycle because we have already spoken a lot about it. This is the Classic 350, the most important bike for Royal Enfield. And for a very long time, we were looking for a bigger Classic. Yes, there was the Classic 500, but the hope was to get a twin cylinder Classic, and it is finally here. So Jehan, what's your take?
Firstly, let's make it very clear, we are not doing a comparison of these two. It's not an apples to oranges or even a tangerine to a narangi compare over here. Let's make that very clear. What we are aiming here to do is that the new J series Classic, set the perfect Classic formula, which this sort of aims to replicate. So has this properly done that?
Yeah, so this is the Chote Mia, this is the Bade Mia. So should you upgrade from the Chote Mia to the Bade Mia or vice versa, whatever, but yeah, this is not a comparison.
I heard the kebabs are good at Bade Mia. Is this Bade Mia good also? We'll need to find that out.
Exactly. Now I'm feeling hungry, but yeah, we gotta work. So let's start with the styling. This motorcycle has set the template for a roadster styling. It looks properly beautiful, proportionate, and in this color. My God.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Like I remember the previous, say, J series Classic 350 had the red with the chrome. Yeah. That was also very exciting, very lovely. But this, the green emerald, which they're calling it, brilliant. And nobody does chrome like Royal Enfield. That's, you have to give it to them. But when you take that sort of form factor, that silhouette, and put it in a 650, it sort of feels stretched. The proportions are gone all over the place. Like, I know this still has visual mass, it still looks big, bulky, beefy, but it somehow looks stretched, and that is not giving you a very clear visual identity. I mean, this looks beautiful from all angles. This,
from certain angles.
Yeah, only from the side maybe.
Yeah. Because when you think of it, all the components of the Classic 650, when you look at the motorcycle, they look nice, like the headlight, the fuel tank, the mudguard. But when they all come together, it just looks very odd. And as you mentioned, it looks a bit stretched out, like a chewing gum being stretched out. So yeah, the Classic 350 still looks better in terms of the styling, in terms of the proportion. But when it comes to quality, when you go deep dive, the Classic 650 does have the better fit and finish, looks more premium, and it better be because it is more than 1 lakh rupees extra.
Yeah, because underneath all of this design is still the Super Meteor 650, right? So the Super Meteor set a very high standard when it comes to quality from Royal Enfield motorcycles, and this is sort of replicating that formula, whereas this is still, say, around 2-3 years before the Super Meteor. So you can see the quality levels are okay, but this is clearly notches above.
Yeah, exactly. From the older Classic 350 to this, the quality levels have gone up a lot on the J platform. But again, the 650 obviously more premium, has a better fit and finish. And one more thing I'd like to add is the color options for the 650. Yeah. We always know on the 350 there are many color options, and there is also the MIY in which you can customize your motorcycle. But on the Classic 650 also they have done a good job. I like this color, especially for the font on the fuel tank. Looks very unique, very different.
Very modern and youthful Royal Enfield as such, right?
Yeah, this still...
Shame they couldn't give it on the Guerrilla or the Hunter, which are their youthful motorcycles.
Okay, let's not go into a different tangent. Let's focus on this motorcycle. So yeah, in terms of styling, pure styling, I think the Classic 350 still has the edge, has the lines, has the proportion. Yeah. 650...
Formula proper hai.
Proper hai, but ye thoda piche.
Haan.
Like.
So the classicness of the Classic 350 didn't just come about from the design elements, but also the way you sat on the 350, because it gave you that Raja bike feeling, right?
The Raja Babu style. And I think the seat, the shape of the seat, the position of the handlebar, the position of the foot peg, it was all about sitting very comfortably, very upright, or should I say royally on this motorcycle. And that has been one of the ethos of the Classic 350, why it has been so popular with a lot of bikers, is the comfort aspect.
And it still continues to be that sort of a big macho bike, right? Yeah. It gives you that feeling even though you're not spending a lot of money on it. And this used to be the heaviest motorcycle at once upon a time in Royal Enfield's portfolio. Now it is this.
How heavy is this?
243 kilos. 243 kilos. This is the heaviest Royal Enfield that they make.
So that basically this motorcycle makes both of us feel lighter.
Yes.
Yeah, finally we can say.
It's in fact heavier than the two of us combined.
Yeah. To think of it, it is around 60 kg heavier than the Classic
Yes.
350. The Classic 350 is not a light motorcycle as it is, and this thing is 60 kgs.
And okay,
Okay.
we've ridden both the bikes. Which one do you feel has the lower seat height?
That one.
No, it just feels like that. Okay?
Okay.
Because the seat height is similar, but the reach to the bars is a little more on this.
I don't
So
like the handlebar.
So you're
shape
sitting
on
like this, and it's not straight, it's inwards. So you're in this sort of a zone where you're stressing out your, say, upper body quite a bit, and then you can't grip the bike because on that, few models get a tank grip so you can easily hug the bike and sit on it, whereas you don't want to spoil the chrome there.
Yeah.
But why don't you give, say, tank grips over here?
Exactly. My biggest problem with the Classic 650 is the handlebar position. It should have been similar to the Classic 350. It would have been even more comfortable, better. One thing better on the Classic 650 is that you get the sensation of sitting inside the motorcycle, while on the Classic 350 is feeling like you're on the motorcycle. So the seat slightly is better over there, but the handlebar position just makes the riding posture feel very odd. And I think while touring, you will get tired on this motorcycle easily.
More to do with the fact that even the shape of the seat is slightly different here. This sort of starts digging into your thighs, especially the larger riders, whereas that is a soft seat, so your tailbone starts sinking in. But I would still prefer that over this, because over the longer duration, I don't want both of my thighs to start hurting.
Which is the case with the Interceptor.
Yeah.
But also you get a touring seat option on the
Correct.
Classic 350. We have tested that seat on our ride to Goa. Very comfortable. So very nice. Also when it comes to pillion seat, also the Classic 350 does a good job because there is a lot of space between the rider and the pillion. Split seats, you have your own space. What about the
We don't know about the Classic 650. I wonder why Royal Enfield insists on giving us the Classic 650 as a solo rider. Perhaps it has something to do with they want us to remain solo for life, but sadly that is not the case.
Exactly.
So Royal Enfield, please give us the rear seat so that we find out and we extend it to our partners as well and find out whether or not it's
Exactly,
good.
I don't know. Like during the first ride, I can understand they wanted to keep the aesthetics of the motorcycle in check. But now it's a road test. Please give us the media unit with that. Anyways, if some of you guys have ridden the Classic 650 with the pillion seat, do share your experience in the comments so that we can get some understanding. So in terms of ergonomics, I think again, the Classic 350,
The formula is better there, right?
the weight also plays an aspect over here because just to move around this motorcycle,
Here, see. I'm not exaggerating. I'm literally not exaggerating. Whereas that is just like,
so one good thing is if you buy the Classic 350, you don't have to get a gym membership. Your workout is done in your parking lot.
yeah, we need gym memberships.
Okay, let's talk about performance. .350 single cylinder, twin cylinder, difference in power, torque, everything on paper, yes, that is better. But between 90 to 100, the Classic 350 is in its own zone, like full nirvana. No other motorcycle does 90, 100 so well.
Yeah.
But what about this motorcycle, yeah?
I mean, on paper, the twin cylinder should have been more refined, better to cruise at 100, 110 or even slightly more, and better fuel efficiency also should be expected in that zone. But clearly, Royal Enfield has given some weird tune to the Classic
don't know,
650 only. We didn't find it on the Interceptor, not on the Super Meteor,
On the
not even
Shotgun.
on the Bear.
Bear or the shotgun.
Yeah.
But on
Why?
this motorcycle, I rode this motorcycle in Kunur, over there it felt like that. Then we got a separate unit for a road test. Even that motorcycle at 100 felt like that. This is a completely different motorcycle. Even this motorcycle feels vibey at 100 kph, which isn't the case with any other 650 twin. So I don't know what they have done with the Classic 650. It just it is just like beyond understanding. Like this is supposed to cruise well. It has the higher displacement, extra cylinder, but then this thing comes in.
Yeah, it's not like the vibes are harsh, okay? It's not they are like a deal breaker, but it's just that when you jump from the 350 to say the 650, you want a sense of calmness, right, at higher speeds. That is why you're buying the 650, and that sense of calmness is not there. Sure, the ceiling for that is 110 kmph.
Max, yeah.
Enough for that. This, you can ride it out to 120, 130, but again, the more you start pushing, it's not getting calmer, it's getting worse, which was not the feeling that I found on the Interceptor, Conti, or any of the other 650s.
Yeah, in terms of sheer acceleration, yes, the classic 650 shoots off the line, has that extra power and torque. But when it comes to cruising on the highway, I thought the classic 650 would be better, but again, the classic 350 surprises. Again, high speed stability on both the motorcycles is very good. They feel very rock solid doing those speeds.
And another thing, when you mentioned about the highway, just overtakes are quite easy to do on this, right? Because there is so much torque available, you can just roll on and it just goes bud 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 bud.
Yeah.
Not bud bud, but like brrrr. There you have to go one gear down and then go bud 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 bud.
Yeah. Comes into the power band and it's like, it takes some time. Yeah, that's there. But coming to city performance, both of them have a lot of low end torque, very easy to ride in city traffic. First gear, second gear,
Third or fourth gear dalo
that maybe
and leave it.
gear. Yeah, it just does the chugging bit very well. What it doesn't do very well at slow speeds is the clutch. The clutch action on the classic 350 is heavy. It's not the lightest clutch in the segment, but then this takes the cake. This is next level heavy.
So Pune is perhaps the worst traffic right now for a two-wheeler, and I had to ride this for an hour and a half through Pune traffic, and by the end of it, my left hand was aching. Just because I was just clutching in, clutching out, clutching. And it's not like it's, say, a slim lever, right? The feeling of it makes it more tedious.
Yeah,
right.
I think the older Interceptor lever were better in that regard. Coming to the classic 350, we have seen the Hunter 350 get the slipper clutch, and we are expecting that to come on the classic 350 very soon.
It should not be that big of a job, right? The clutch is the same, the engine is the same.
And you can retrofit on the Hunter. So I'm pretty sure that will come soon. And for the classic 350, that will be a big boon, making it even better to ride in city traffic. So in terms of the city performance, both of them are good. But again, clutch action on the 650 and also the weight of the motorcycle will play a part when you're riding. We'll get to that later on. But as a city bike, again, the classic 350, easy to ride, lightweight, steering is easy. Highway, surprisingly at 90 to 100. Again, this is better, not that good. Just the 650, just the classic 650 has the issue. So again, in terms of performance, 350, right?
Yeah.
Never saw that coming, but yeah.
I'm surprised. But Arun, the one area where this certainly has the edge over the 350 is when you encounter some form of twisties, okay? I'm not like you're going to go out seeking the corners, but when you do seek the corners and when you do stumble upon them, this feels the more planted and the more, say, fun bike, partly down to the engine, but partly down to the way it is set up as well, right?
Yeah, the long wheelbase gives it that full footprint on the ground. Even the fatter tires gives it that more confidence when you want to corner. So on sweeping corners, on mountain twisted, this should be fine. But if there are back-to-back switchbacks, the weight comes through. Then you have to literally muscle your bike from right to left, something that I experienced on the mountains on Kunur, but not over here. Over here, it's more enjoyable. The classic 350, not the most like confidence-inspiring handling motorcycle, but again, that it wasn't designed for that. It is chill, but it's like I'm better off in the city or on the highway, not a very corner-friendly motorcycle, but more agile. It is definitely more agile going through city traffic. It's very easy, doesn't feel its weight. That's not the case with the classic 650.
Yeah, and when you bring about the city, the whole clutching angle, the whole weight aspect just tires you out even further. I mean, I have not been tired of with the other 650s as well. Maybe the Bear is an exception.
Kind of.
Yeah, and maybe the Shotgun.
The wide turning radius.
But this is still tiresome. And the classic should not be tiresome.
Exactly. The classic is supposed to be chill and easy, which it does.
Yeah.
But in terms of agility, again, the classic 350 as the edge.
Yeah.
And let's talk about comfort.
Yeah, again, because of the elongated wheelbase, this doesn't feel quite as plush. In fact, let's do one thing. Arun, which one of these two do you think has more suspension travel at the front?
Front, maybe the classic 350.
Correct. Okay, 10 mm more travel.
Oh, okay.
But
Not
at
much.
the
rear, that has to be longer.
more travel?
Yeah.
No.
Then?
It's both are same. Both have the same suspension travel, 90 mm of travel
Okay.
at the rear.
But the difference is so
It's
contrasting.
night and day,
Yeah.
right? Again, that is down to the format and the underpinnings because this was designed to be a classic. This is designed to be a derivative of the Super Meteor, which is a cruiser in the
Yeah,
first place.
the
So
angle
from a
of the-
cruiser to this didn't make sense.
Yeah, I think it just feels firm when you're going over potholes, you're going over undulations. The classic 350 on the other hand, just okay, it's not as good as an adventure tourer, but for a roadster, the suspension setting of this motorcycle is just spot on. I think no wonder it was so popular for the Ladakh ride.
Heck, in my mind, this is still one of the best adventure motorcycles that you can buy in India. I mean, if it can go to Ladakh and come back in one piece,
Yeah.
nothing else. Whereas this will be a struggle in Ladakh.
I do. Like, imagine doing a water crossing with this weight, you're getting stuck.
No, I'm not doing.
And I think even the ground clearance is lower on this.
Even Mumbai water crossing you won't be able to do, right? Because the ground clearance is so low, it'll submerge, half of the bike will submerge in this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So in terms of comfort also, the
Yeah.
classic 650 just trails behind.
Yeah.
For the rider, we don't know about the pillion, but given the fact that it is firm at the back, even for the pillion rider, it won't be very comfortable. And let's talk about brakes.
Both are okay sort of brakes. लगते हैं.
लगता है, but इसका the rear one on the classic 650 is too urgent.
It's like
It's scary. Basically, it is scary.
the Himalayan 450 story continues here also. You press the rear brake, it locks, and then ABS remembers, oh, I have to work. Right? It's like your lazy co-worker. They remember after the boss says, where is the presentation? And they're like, हाँ, मैं देता हूँ. So yeah, that is the ABS.
But it's scary. Like that is something I gave as a feedback to Royal Enfield engineers during the first ride also because of the whole long wheelbase, the heft of the motorcycle.
Yeah.
When you step on the brake, it just locks and you're like, no, I don't want this to happen right.
The rear disc brake of this is as large as the Speed 400's front disc. So now understand how much the braking force is being exerted at the back.
Yeah, but the front is not as sharp as one would expect it to
Yeah.
be. It's a bit soft. But again, in terms of brakes, the classic 350, from the launch, we've been saying it is wooden, has no feel, nothing. They haven't still worked on it. I don't know when they will work on it.
I don't know if they will work on it or not. But one thing that they have worked on is providing these lovely adjustable levers now also on the 350.
Nice.
And you know, they cost a bomb. I mean, it's better that you remove these and put them as ornaments in your house. And you know what's the cost of the non-adjustable ones? A pair will be under 1,000 rupees. So in case
Okay.
if you break either one of them, just get a pair of non-adjustable ones. Those will work out brilliantly in the future.
Okay, and in terms of features, again, the same headlight shell,
Yeah.
same console,
Bad
the same trip
headlights.
meter.
Bad LED headlights. That has an LED turn indicator, but this doesn't. Is this the bigger bike? Is this the more expensive bike?
No idea, man.
Yes, it is expensive because this gets Type C, that gets Type A charging.
Ah, okay.
Oh, yeah,
But
oh.
both get chargers
Yeah.
on the handlebar, so that's a nice thing. In terms of console, in terms of features, the same.
Yeah.
One small screen for your
Yeah.
trip meter, fuel gauge, and odometer. There's a tripper for your navigation.
Standard on all colors over here, but
On the
only on
classic
some
350, you'll have
colors.
to add.
Yeah.
But again, not a big fan of the tripper. Best still is mobile mount. Keep it. You'll be better off using that. So in terms of features, also there's nothing different between these two motorcycles. Very similar in that approach. Maybe just that again bulb over here also. I thought
Yeah.
maybe on that it's LED. Same to same. So yeah, let's go to verdict. So Jehan, let's talk about money. कितना है? This how much?
Yeah,
how much?
I have the official numbers from the website.
Okay.
So the single channel ABS version, yes, the classic 350 still gets single channel ABS. That starts at around 195.
But
okay?
we won't suggest that.
Don't get that, okay?
No
Because
rear ABS, no
rear drum and all that, don't bother with it, okay? You get the dual channel ABS version which starts at 2,04,000 rupees,
Okay.
okay, ex showroom, and that is the base color. And as you go up, it's only colors that get added on, and the dripper pod on this, which is 2,35,000 rupees, okay?
It's got expensive, huh? Classic. From what you
Now you spend another 1,02,000 rupees and you get the base version of the classic 650, which is this color, okay? So 3,37,000 rupees.
Okay.
And the top, which is the black chrome, that costs 3,50,000 rupees. So top to top, the difference is around 1,15,000 rupees,
Okay.
and I don't think so it's worth spending that much.
Direct verdict. But I'll get back to that later. But see, the thing is with the classic 650, we are expecting the pricing to be on the higher side. So yes, value proposition compared to the other 650s in the family, they've done a good job. On the other hand, I think the classic 350 is just getting too expensive. Like this update which came in, apart from the LED headlight,
Bread butter के ऊपर थोड़ा jam, थोड़ा
ये
cheese.
caviar है भाई अभी तो like it's going too much, like they're adding too much. So I understand in terms of value on paper, yes, the classic 350 is cheaper, but I still think it is on the higher end.
Caviar Goan है, but yeah, sure.
Not necessary. I think that's Russian. Now, anyways, coming back. So the whole question was, as a classic 350, so popular, loved by millions of riders for many decades. Lot of people were waiting to upgrade from their classic 350 to get a classic 650 or a bigger classic. You think it will be a natural transition for them?
No. And it's clearly evident, right? How many of these have you seen on the road?
Seen two.
Okay. And when was the launch?
Long time back.
Long
3-4
time
months
back, right?
yeah.
I have barely seen this bike on the road, except for the fact when I am riding it. And those are the media units. In fact, I genuinely, in my garage, I wanted to add another motorcycle
Yeah.
for my partner and I, and we were considering a classic 650, provided it would give us the feel of that
Yes.
motorcycle with a 650cc engine,
Yes.
right? But that is not what this is giving us,
Very
right?
disappointing on that.
Yeah, and ultimately, then we rather are deciding to get this towards the end of the year.
Yeah, I mean, that will be a better two-up rider. Yes, it is easy to ride, it is cheaper,
Yeah.
it is more engaging in that
And
sense.
it's more soulful.
So, exactly. I know a lot of people will give us grief for the word soulful, but it is there for motorcycles. If you
Yeah.
understand, you understand. You don't understand, I'm not going to bother explaining you also. Ride more, you will understand. Simple as that. Again,
Hashtag logic.
Again, coming to the classic 650, yes, we thought this would be a great 650. Had the potential of being the best 650,
Yeah.
but that's not the case, and that comes down to the line because of the
Yeah.
platform. This is
Yeah.
based on the Super Meteor platform, shotgun platform.
Correct.
So there's the Interceptor Conti platform. This is a different platform.
Yeah.
For the Himalayan, again, they will get a different platform which is coming next year. That's a different topic. You think they should have made a separate platform for the classic 650 and the upcoming Bullet 650?
Of course,
Yes.
it goes without saying. Because again, why would you want a derivative of a cruiser, right? You might make a cruiser out of the classic platform, like they've
The
done with the
Meteor.
Meteor, right? From the Meteor, even though it came first, it was conceived, the J platform was conceived for this.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's not like in the past also they had the Thunderbird.
Yeah.
And then came the classic 350 and that kind of shook the whole market.
Yeah.
So they know it from their history. I don't know why they didn't do that. I think it's a very big missed opportunity from Royal Enfield that the classic 650 had so much potential. So many customers, existing customers were waiting to upgrade. I don't think so they will upgrade.
Yeah.
Yes, it is a great motorcycle to have in the garage because of the way it looks. It has a vibe. I'll say
Yeah.
it has a vibe. But this will not be your only motorcycle in your garage. This is like your weekend splurge where you want to go and have some breakfast like scrambled eggs or bhurji pav or
But then again,
misal pav.
why would I get this? I'll get a Goan, right?
Again, that is also a good option.
Yeah, right. And the Goan will give me a lot more street credit, gives me a lot more funkiness. And at the end of the day, do you still have hopes from the 750?
No,
Neither do
because it's too early for them. I think for them, for Royal Enfield, they'll have to re-engineer the platform a lot. I don't think so they are gonna go into that direction. Yes, maybe in the export markets, the Classic 650 would do well because for them, they haven't got that much of an exposure with the Classic 350 like the Indian audience has. So I think internationally this motorcycle would do well. Domestically, I don't think so. The Classic 350 still has any alternative, or in this case, a derivative also.
Yeah, and that's say a disheartening thing to leave on. So, what do you think about our video? Let us know in the comment section below. Are you going to upgrade from the 350 to the 650, or are you still going to pick the 350?
Well, if you have done, what has been your experience with the 650? Do let us know in the comments. If you have any queries about these two motorcycles which we haven't addressed in this video, please do write to us. We will address them in the comments and we'll try to engage with you guys because we really like to talk, as you can clearly see. So please engage with us on the YT channel, also on our Instagram channel. And as always, ride safe, stay safe.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching.